are you? Go
Yes,
next.
I'm here. I'm here. Um, let's move on to the next speaker, Umar Farouk.
Okay, hello, good morning, good day, good. I hope I'm audible. I hope you can hear me. Am I
Yeah, we can
audible?
hear you.
Please,
You're audible.
and
Yes, you're
okay, please, I want to share a story with you, okay, about how I got myself into obese movement. Please, I want you to listen to me, please, without interruption, okay? And before, I not only me, I have a strong reservation about Mr. Obi because what our people, especially the clerical establishment and some politicians, the lies that they told us in the north, we in the north, was very, very much, and we bought into what they told us. But at the end of the day, I had to ask myself, someone on this platform changed my mindset completely. You understand? There was a day that is on 29th of March of May 2020, just 3 months ago. I wrote a tweet which was very, very critical of Mr. Obi. Okay? From what they told us that he's a tribal bigot and so on. Like he's not someone that tolerate people. He disrespect people. So out of anger, I tweeted something about it, and immediately when I tweeted that particular tweet, someone that I knew, a lady on this space, no, she's not on this, a lady on this app brought to my attention. She called me. I went to her personally. I went to her house personally because she's a friend of mine and said, see, please, let's us have a discussion. Let me tell you about Mr. Obi, this switch that you made. Let her make a She said, let her make a clarification for me. And I said, fine. So I listened to her. She spoke to me for over an hour. And she gave me a challenge that I should please go and find out that Mr. Obi is not what I portrays him to be. Okay? And I went out in my own personal capacity, apart from her, and I also told her that she should also provide me with the details and with what Mr. Obi has done or why he deserved my votes and my support. Okay, so we made a deal. We have a 3 days. We had a 3 days to report back at each other. You understand? So immediately after the conversation, I put a call to the state Labour Party chairman, who happens to be a close neighbor to me and like a personal friend for long. This is someone that I knew from a decade. So I went to his house and he told me that Mr. Obi has done a lot. And I said, okay, what has he done? So he started explaining to me, and I said, no, I'm not satisfied. Let me go and do a physical verification. So during the course of this my investigation and verifications, I now found out that what Mr. Obi has done to the people of Katsina, nobody in the whole state or in the north that has done such things to a Katsina state. Remember, this still conversation that we had was on me. But like what he did that I was not aware of was almost 2 to 3 years ago, and he did another one last year. Okay, it might be interest you to share some of the things. So I went out, and the Labour Party chairman said I should go to this place. Mr. Obi does not want he doesn't want publicity when he does something. He doesn't want somebody to mention it. Like he just do it for the sake of humanity. And I said, okay, fine. But you know, in politics, when you do something, it's good to tell people so that they will know what you have done. So I went round on my own, and I saw that Mr. Obi built 6 schools. 6 schools. Each of the school has 12 block of classroom. 6 schools. You understand? 6 schools. Okay. Then after then, he, I came back to him and I said, "What you told me, and what I saw on the ground for myself, I'm convinced. And he said, no, this is not all he has done. I should go to somewhere. I should go to the hospital, one of the hospital in Katsina. I should go there. I should go to a ward inside the hospital and see something. I went to a ward I went to a ward in the hospital. Do you know that the dialysis machine that they were using at the hospital was bought by Mr. Obi? Mr. Obi was not contesting. This was just 2 years ago. He was not contesting when he does such things. You understand? He was not even contesting because he contested in 2019 with Atiku, but at the time he was not contesting. He has many friends in Katsina. You understand? So out of passion and empathy and his love for the people, what I saw on this one, like I know maybe there are medical doctors here or some people that are familiar with in the medical line how much it costs to buy a dialysis machine, because I know it's almost up to 100 million dialysis machine for those with kidney problem. So I went there, I took a photo. You understand? I went straight to the medical director of the hospital and I asked him questions. Before he was not forthcoming, and I said, I'm requesting this issue. I'm requesting this through the Freedom of Information Act, because he was not. He was trying to be rude, not and be helpful to me. And the moment I mentioned that Freedom of Information Act, now I was going to invoke it so that he can release, give me some information. So he now said that okay, we go to this place. He even assigned someone to take me to the dialysis center that Mr. Obi built the hospital. And I saw it. I was very, very stunned. You understand? I was stunned. I was ashamed. I feel ashamed of my and I feel ashamed of my generation in my own state, and I feel ashamed for my people in Katsina. You understand? So I now came back to the chairman and I told him that this is what I've seen so far, and he said that is not all. I'm a humanitarian aid worker working with the USAID. So I've covered almost all the not, but not almost like this six local government of Northwest Zone. It's not everywhere that I can go. And he told me that go to this place, go to Zamfara, go to Sokoto. You understand? Go to Sokoto and see something. I took this as a challenge. I went back to the lady and said, okay, you are right. And I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. Immediately, I tendered my unreserved apology to her in a respectful manner, which she appreciated. You understand? I said, please, I'm wrong. And now, apart from that, I made this tweet on 29th of May, just 3 months ago, 3 months maybe and a week ago. I made this tweet. So after I made the tweet, it was after that tweet that I made when she got in touch with me, my whole mindset changed. You understand? I know what my people are going through. You understand? I've been on the front line. I'm a casualty of war. You understand? I'm not a soldier or something, but I was caught in the crossfire along during when I was working. So like I knew what it takes, the pain that our people go through. This is a state where the president belongs, which has a total population of internally displaced people of up to 700,000. I'm not talking of 70 or 700 or 7,000. I'm talking to about 700,000 registered, those that were registered by my own organization, by my own agency that I work for. You understand? They are the ones providing a lifeline for us. For me as a Muslim, I'm not trying to share any Muslim, but me, when it comes to the truth, and for the sake of clarity and posterity, I said it out. And when you are wrong, I will tell you you are wrong. Please, this is what you should do. I call a spade a spade. You understand? So apart from those, and someone told me that there is a rice mill in Kano. So for me, I went straight down to Kano just to see the rice mill. And when I went to the rice mill, what the managing director of the rice mill told me that, do you know who the owner of this rice mill was? And I said no. He said Peter Obi has a 70% majority stake of this rice mill, and this rice mill happens to be one of the biggest rice mills in Africa. You understand? Which employs over almost 2,000 people in Kano from in Kano State alone. So not to these are the things that I know. There are other things that I don't know that he has done in other regions and other part of the country. I had a conversation with him. I was fortunate to have a one-on-one conversation with him, not once, not twice, even on Zoom call and so on. So I was very, very fortunate to. There was a time I asked him, "Sir, you this thing that you are doing." Then okay, let me adopt something. The central market of Katsina caught fire. Almost 60% of it was destroyed, and billions of naira worth of goods were destroyed. They did a fundraiser, which is out there. If you go to the Ministry of Commerce, you will see it. They did a fundraiser so that they even deducted money from the salaries of the workers so that they can like help the people from the market. And this was something that even almost made the labor and the TUC union go on strike, because how on earth would the government and deduct some over 700 naira on each and every civil servant? So like, okay, now the government sat down with them and talked to them and explained them. Let me tell you
Omar,
something.
Omar,
Okay,
can you
yes,
begin
sir.
to round up, please?
Yes, I'll round up. Let me something. When the market caught fire, so there was a lot of donation. People from all walks of life came. Dangote of all people came. He gave us 20 million, along with Bua Abu Samad Isaac Rabiu. But Peter Obi didn't came to Katsina. He made a donation of 100 million naira. This is something that is available for each and every one of you to see. Okay, so now I was this evening, about 2 hours ago, 2 to 3 hours ago, Bishop brought my attention that someone dug like one of the tweets that I made. Okay, I was very critical of Mr. Obi. I called him all sort of names, and I said yes. And he said, and I told him, this is what made me do it. But I had a change of heart when I went there, and not based on hearsay. This is something that I saw on the ground for myself. You understand? I saw it for with my own eyes, and he was like, okay, I should explain to people this about my tweets. And I said, no, I will not take it down. You understand? So that people will know that maybe I was cowed or I was pressurized to take the tweet down. And I told him that this is what's happened, and this was the reason why I even joined the Labour Party and even joined the movement. Miss Pills is here. She even brought my attention. She asked me to clarify, and I sent her a message and I even a voice note, and I
Or please,
explained it to
you
her.
round up. There are other
Yes,
speakers who are trying to
I'm done.
speak.
I'm done, sir. I'm done, sir.
Uh,
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much. Moving on to